The Collector. After putting in a full 8 hours and coming up short in towns where I'd found success on previous flea market Saturdays, not a single blue manifestation of Charlie the Tuna in his elusive plastic glory, no telltale ready kilowatt zigzag embodiment of energy in action, no electricity in the air, no cool, so bad they're good ceramic beatnik daddy-os, no yellowing crazy cat or pogo in their threadbare Sunday funnies best, no worn out-of-this-world copy of Those Sexy Saucer People, discarded for not exactly living up to its complicated front cover promise, no worn out-of-this-world copy of Those Sexy Saucer People, discarded for not exactly living up to its complicated front cover promise, no promising anything that needed my saving for the rest of the day or for good. I walked oddly unencumbered through the twilight parking lot with my son, who, in his ancient 4-year-old's wisdom that comes from living a life much closer to the ground, seized on an empty box of Good and Plenty and made his trademark declaration, "I collect these, you know." He arrives at decisions like that in an instant, and unfailingly they become him until there's no going back to whoever he was before. And my part was, as always, to carry it home safe in my pocket, the driver, the courier, the muscle, the mule, to smuggle it inviolate across some invisible border to where it absolutely matters again. His is not the standard collector's zeal, some nearly impossible quest for completeness, the one missing piece by now larger than life, where condition, they say, is everything. It's nothing he'll spend whole days or nights or years on, curatorially speaking. This is about a more haphazard accrual, a steady accumulation with no discernible shape, save that it's so easily accommodated in his wide-open mind's eye. You know I need this for my sculpture that never ends. His pursuit is effortless, a masterpiece of circumstance and sheer improvisation, like Coltrane at the Village Vanguard, picking up a tune of no particular note and blowing it inside out, the fiercest declaration on record of my favorite things. My son knows by heart how that one goes. Every day he's that alive, working on another small piece of his world, counting it off, already dressed and hurrying through breakfast, looking to come in so true and so sure that this time it will stay played his way forever. He's got the chops already for the solo of a lifetime. Even now he's stretching out, making it up and laying it down as he goes along, riff by breathless riff. Here on his small red table in the living room tonight, a pine cone, a feather, a scrap of aluminum foil, a key a long way from whatever it opens, a row of mismatched buttons. When he says, "I belong to them," I know they mean the world. And he is there for them, for keeps. Even now, on his long way into sleep, he knows every one of his secret pleasures is safe with me. There's never a day he walks away from empty-handed. Sometimes that kind of power falls into the wrong hands. Folks who can't ever have enough Hummel figurines or angels or Elvis on black velvet. And what exactly are those salt and pepper shaker people thinking? Leigh Hunt spent a lifetime assembling his album of famous human hair, but he was one of those hopeless romantics and should be pardoned accordingly. My fellow flea marketeer, Ernie, world-renowned sculptor, unloaded his trove of kitschy 1950s space-age lamps on me. "Can you believe I'm now collecting celebrity shoes?" This was years ago, and I believed him because I wanted to believe. Anyone can always make room for a few more needs of his own choosing, because sooner or later there's world enough we have too little say in. because we're better off knowing the name of anything we're not looking for. Between my son and the woman who bore him, who bears up herself so gracefully under the weight of whatever her boys are lugging home these days, I have so much already. But I'll be setting my Charlie the Tuna alarm clock for us all, because I still want days like tomorrow, when Ben will wake up, running full tilt again into living room daylight, illuminating his small share of the planet he laid out on display so carefully the night before. Believe me, no one could be any more delighted that it's still all of it there. And when he looks down from the unassuming height of his young powers at what he's managed to make of his life so far, he will see that it is good, and there is plenty more he'd like everyone to know where this came from.